Back, everyone. We're gonna start a new episode talking about foods that are affecting our psychic abilities and how fresher foods are more nutritious, and when you eat processed stuff, it's starting to reject, especially when you start going through your awakening of a journey, especially trying to heal your body from years of exposing that type of addiction to those processed foods, and then switching over to a fresher homemade type of ingredients to rebuild your stomachs.
So basically, eating a bunch of processed foods absolutely will close your third eye. I mean, processed foods are filled with microplastics as well as a number of other additives and preservatives, and they're not good for us. We know as a society, with science proven, we know that processed foods are bad for our body for a number of reasons, okay? But it's not just our physical body, they're also bad for our spirit. We need to have our body at its highest health, so that we can reach our full potential, right? And the best way to do that, I think, is to eat seasonally, which means not eating watermelon in December, because watermelon shouldn't be here in December. The only reason we have watermelon in December is because of GMOs, because we are unnaturally growing it. It's not natural, you know what I mean? The amount of GMOs. See, and that's the thing, even buying fresh fruit at the store, it's filled with a bunch of antibiotics and things that make it grow, and preservatives too, really, because apples are covered in wax. But I mean, not everybody has the ability to go to a farmer's market, which would be ideal, right? So starting at your local grocery store, whether that is Walmart or whether that's an actual local grocery store, look into the produce section, because produce is actually pretty cheap. I mean, a cucumber is like 19 cents, you know?
And I have come across, whenever you see shredded cheese at let's say Walmart, that is actually covered with chemicals where it keeps it from not sticking together. So for an alternative, I would recommend getting the blocks of cheese and grate it up your own self.
It's covered in unnecessary starches, and it does have preservative chemicals in it, which, like you said, causes it to not stick together. Whereas the block cheese does not have those additives. So is it convenient to grate your own cheese? No, but I think that's the problem people have, is that we have traded convenience for our health, essentially. I mean, let's look at diapers. You got the throwaway diapers, and it's convenient because you don't have to wash them. You just throw them away, as opposed to 20, 30, 40 years ago, people just used the cloth diapers. But it's more convenient to just throw it away instead of having to actually, wash it. You know what I mean? Even though it's terrible for the environment, and it takes them 20 plus years to break down.
Exactly.
So you were saying that, do you think that your body's starting to reject and just not really enjoy or digest, if you will, processed foods? And you talked about, well, you've been eating a whole food diet for the most part since you've been staying at your boyfriend's house, and that's how his mom cooks. But do you think your awakening also has something to do with you rejecting the processed foods?
Yes, because I am more aware that these chemicals are on those food, and my body's like, okay, well, we know it's not natural to have it in those foods, so we're gonna start rejecting it, because you know what, you're getting older, you need to start really focusing on trying to get that health in check, especially during your awakening of the spiritual journey you want to go on. And I'm like, makes sense.
Well, and I mean, the thing is people don't realize, I know I didn't realize when I was in my teens and early 20s, I was always like, I can eat whatever I want and I'm fine. I am still struggling to get myself back on track. All this weight that I have, I gained when I was like 20, 21, 22, 23, in my early 20s, because I was just eating whatever I wanted to eat. I didn't think about it. I wasn't doing it consciously. I was, one, working at fast food, and also I just assumed it would be okay. Like, I'll worry about that later. And I think a lot of people, if I had that mentality, then I know a lot of young people also have that mentality. As someone who's going into their 30s, I can't believe I just said that out loud, but as someone who will be going into their 30s, I can tell you I'm still fighting the health battles from when I did not take care of myself when I was younger. Like I said, all this weight came on when I was younger. And I'm trying to get for the past couple of years, I've been eating really well. Like, we do whole foods. We barely do processed foods. Now, occasionally we'll have a treat, like Anna just took a sip of her coffee. But once you lose that health or whatever, it's very hard to get it back. So just because you're young, don't think you're invincible, because you will pay for it in the long run, which people don't realize.
Especially for females.
Mm-hmm.
We go through so much hormone changes.
Yes.
And even me personally, I have PCOS, which we can go into more depth of those hormone disorders in another episode in the future. But I have PCOS, which indicates the food that I put in has the effect on whether I'm going to feel tired, or I'm going to have energy, or I'm not going to be able to lose the weight because it stores into my fat cells and doesn't go anywhere.
Well, PCOS is a hormone imbalance, and you can truly, you can help your hormones with the food that you eat. There are so many foods you can eat that are great for hormones. There's also so many herbs that you can incorporate as well. Red raspberry leaf is one that is fantastic when it comes to female hormones. Oat straw is great when it comes to female hormones, as well as, believe it or not, yarrow. Yarrow is great for menstruation and ovulation. It helps if you have a super heavy period due to PCOS. It can help regulate those periods, and it does so by helping the hormones. Healthy hormones is a healthy body, and easier said than done.
Yeah, especially when we have internet and these kids are exposed to what they call trend, or like the viral.
Like the pickles, like, you know what I'm talking about? They're like pickles wrapped in like fruit by the foot, dipped in like chamoy or whatever. Like, none of that looked good to me. Did it look good to you? Be honest.
No, not really. Even though I do like pickle and other fruit roll up.
I like all of those things, but maybe not together, right? Like, and there's just the craziest things. So not just the chamoy pickles wrapped in fruit roll up and all that shit, but then you've got ice cream wrapped in fruit roll up, which does look good because that fruit roll up like gets crispy. But think about it this way: what's in the fruit roll up? And imagine all those sugars, like, because we, our insulin shoots right up when we have sugars, which is not super good for us, which can also cause diabetes, type 1, type 2 diabetes. I had read, and this is insane, the most prescribed pharmaceuticals in the United States are for heart health. They are heart health pharmaceuticals. And yet, despite that, the highest cause of death in the United States is heart disease.
The heart's trying to pump through so much
gunk. Yes, processed shit. Yeah.
It's wild. Hopefully in the future, but greedy people with rich money want that.
Well, and like I said, I think it's a lot about convenience. You see
convenience too.
These parents, and they're just like, I just worked a 12-hour shift. I'm tired. I don't want to come home and cook Whole Foods. My kids aren't going to eat carrots. So I'm just going to pop in some chicken nuggets. And what's in these chicken nuggets is sugar and slime and preservatives and so much salt. Ramen noodles, while delicious, I love the way you and your sister make ramen noodles. I craved it when I was pregnant. Is absolutely horrible for you. I mean, they're horrible for you. They're covered in microplastics. They have, and I couldn't believe this, almost double the amount of daily sodium that you should be taking a day in one block of ramen noodles.
And my boyfriend yesterday, because I had a migraine, and normally I do get migraines for storms, but like he brought up a saying like I could be having withdrawals from these processed stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, he related it to drugs. Like,
it is.
It's so, even like with these kids, they don't realize it, but when you have those withdrawals effects, it's like you're addicted to these processed stuff. It's like a drug.
Sugar is like a drug. Also, I'm going to be that bitch. I'm going to mention it, and I don't know your thoughts, Anna, but energy drinks.
I drink, well, they classify it as healthy energy drinks that I get from Sam's Club, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of energy drinks.
They're so bad for you. They are so bad for you. They're legit poison. Like, the amount of caffeine in those energy drinks is insane. And
especially since it's advertised for kids, that's
yeah,
really
that's what's
up.
fucked up. I mean, I have read multiple stories where kids are drinking these energy drinks and then they fucking have a heart attack. Why should a 14-year-old be having a heart attack right now?
We gotta raise our kids better, guys. I get we are surviving in a very bad income. That's why we gotta come as a community, find friends, family that are having gardens, selling like a discounted on eggs or fruits and vegetables. Like, we need to come together and start providing these
things for everyone, just the way it was in the old days. We need to get rid of the plastics because we've got all the microplastics. Don't know if you saw, but like, they did a study that showed almost like 100% of the people they did like research on had a tablespoon of microplastics in their brain. 100% of women had 100%. This is not me making this up. This is real. Had microplastics in their placenta, in their fallopian tubes, in their uterus. 100% of men during the study had microplastics in their testicles and in their semen. 100% of people have microplastics in their brain. They are all throughout our fucking bodies. And you know what? We just recently started using plastic like this. I mean, in the 50s, they used glass. But again, we traded our health for convenience.
And I will say, if you want to get into your health journey on more fresher stuff, yes, it's going to suck at the beginning because you're going through these withdrawals, but you have to get over, I would say, the storm, the little obstacle, and then afterwards you'll feel like you're a brand new person. You have this energy that you never thought it was possible to have, and then you have these clarity, you're able to think straight, and then you have this, when you step outside, you'll be able to feel the freshness and have that deep breath that you've been waiting for so long, because all these processed chemical stuff is like, in my sense, like killing us off.
It really
slowly.
is. It is truly killing us off. Heart attacks used to only be known, or not only, but for the most part, they used to be only for men who are like 60 plus years old, okay? Those were the main people that had heart attacks. Now, women are having just as many heart attacks. And not just people in their 40s and 50s and 60s. These are people in their 20s. Women and girls, I'm going to use the term girls, are getting uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, as young as when they start their period. So that's 12, 13, 14 years old. And I didn't even realize that until I had talked to my OBGYN about things like this. They're getting breast cancer as young as when they start their period. Again, 12, 13, 14. Why should a 12-year-old be struggling with these things?
So it's why it's very important nowadays to come together as a community and make that difference for our children in the future, because if not, we're all just going to go downhill from there.
And it's already starting. We're already starting to go downhill. So I just want to say, if you're watching on YouTube, do not forget to like and subscribe. We've been posting content, once a week?
Yes, once a week for right now. But we can talk about more topics about this. I know it's a very popular topic to have. So if you have any questions, or if we need to go into depth into any other things, go ahead and comment below. But we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.